Hi everybody, Bernard Alvarez here. I am the Empowerment Director for the Global Illumination Council, the GIC.org. And I wanted to share with you that recently the GIC has changed their mission and vision statement to align with the changes happening in our consciousness, the changes happening on our planet, and a new way for us to share information. One of the main aspects of that change is that we wanted to be very sure that we began to share information that is easier to reference and cross-check, and we did not want to share it in a style that was either alarmist or would create outrage or anger or anything like that, or divisiveness, and that's the key of this talk today. Many of us have been involved in this truth consciousness movement. I'm just going to lump it together. For me, truth consciousness movement includes the starseed, the light worker, the truther, etc., etc., for those of us who consider ourselves truth seekers. And it seems to me, and has seemed that way for a while to me now, but now I'm finally going to speak out on it and really hopefully get the point across in today's video, is that when we are trying to get a point across, when we are trying to awaken people to the truth, and what I mean by that, and forgive the fingers, what I mean by that is the style in which we choose to educate those who are unaware of the corruption of the world, who are unaware of the Illuminati, who are unaware of how detrimental and how far-reaching the tentacles of the 1% is, including our food, our air, our water, all of the above. I'm finding that we're pushing more people away than we are allowing them the ability to want to go further to investigate the subject matter. Many of us know friends. I have many friends and colleagues who their style is not one that I choose to align with. There are many websites out there, many webcasters, many YouTubers and whatnot that are very alarmist. They do it basically to get your attention, as far as I'm concerned. And I find that the subject matter, while I'm very interested in the subject matter, the way that it's presented is offensive and divisive, to say the least. When I'm looking at a website and I'm seeing ridiculous, imagery of, let's say, Obama in whiteface, no matter what I feel about Obama, whether I dislike him or I like him, by the way, I don't vote two parties, so no, I did not want him to be reelected. However, it's very offensive to many people, and if you're singing to the choir, you're never going to create change. It's almost as if they've trapped us into this loop of the same repetition over and over and over again. These websites are spewing out the same subject matter. They're spewing out the same videos, recycling them, repackaging them, with the same outrageous titles, the same outrageous graphic images, and I don't see how that is going to awaken the masses. And that is one of the reasons why those of us at the GIC decided we wanted to change our style a little bit. We want to reach out to, well, quote-unquote, the mainstream. I know that's a bad word, but you know what? It is the masses. We have a very, very big planet. We have many, many, many people of different languages, different traditions, different cultures, different religions. And if we are going to be able to reach out to them, we must do so in a diplomatic manner. Now, that's just the first part of this particular talk, because that has to do with why we change what we're doing. What I also need to talk to you about today is the fact that I'm starting to get worried for the truth movement. Again, I'm lumping it all together with consciousness, starseed, lightworker, all of the above, that we're falling for the same divisive tactics that those who we supposedly are trying to expose, or we're trying to awaken people to the shenanigans of, that we're doing the same thing they're doing. I find that there are videos out there. I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to use any names, but here's an example. Several months ago, there was live streamers at the Bilderberg conference. And of course, I'm very interested in finding out what's going on there, and I would like to learn more about what we can do. But there was a particular gentleman just screaming at the Bilderbergers, calling them dirtbags and scumbags and you piece of trash. And the first thing I thought of was, is this how we're going to get people to join and unify together? Is this how we're going to create a mass movement, by yelling and screaming at our enemy? Isn't this the same exact method that they use to make us feel insecure? Isn't this the same method that they use in their propaganda to make us feel less human, to make us feel less empowered? Now, there were streamers there, by the way, at the Bilderberg conference who were very just matter of fact, talking about what they saw, talking about what they can do, but they weren't screaming obscenities and yelling at the people across the fence, making a clown of themselves as far as I'm concerned. But that's one aspect of what we're talking about here today. If we, as the truth consciousness movement, if that's what we choose to call it, and we will for this particular video, if we are to create change, are we going to create change by sinking to their level? If there is a new world order, and I'm pretty sure there is, I'm 99.9% positive there is something going on behind the scenes. I don't know if I would call it new world order, but for discussion's sake, I'll call it new world order, which I'm finding to be a very divisive tag title in itself. We have to come up with another word. I think that's why Occupy came up with the 1%. However, if there is a new world order, and they are of the Illuminati, which I believe many are, and these people are in the Illuminati, they have been trained throughout their life to use subtleties, to use energy, to use vibration technology. Don't you think that they want to keep you at a low vibration? Don't you think that these Illuminati 1% New World Order people want to make you and keep you angry and fearful and divided against the people you care for? Isn't that a part of the plan? Are we falling for it when we start yelling obscenities at them? Are we falling for it when we start calling our friends, our family, and even your Facebook friends, Sheeple, insulting them like they don't have a brain? I used to do it. And someone in my family actually said, you know what, you've got great stuff. If you would stop calling Sheeple, maybe I'd listen. So we need to consider these things. We need to think about, have we fallen? Are we now the Sheeple? And I say this, and I mean this with all honesty, and no offense to anybody. I'm using this video to hopefully get you to think about what you're saying, what you're doing. Many of us in the truth consciousness movement, especially the extreme aspect of it, which I was 4 or 5 years ago, I admit, that, that the Illuminati is evil, the occult is evil, pagans are evil, no one is right unless you're a right-wing Christian, and that's what it's come down to at this point. We must be very aware of the infiltration of right-wing conspiracy religious zealots. This is not a part of truth. This is something that has come and either snuck its way in, or has at least the biggest voice that is making many, many people listen. I myself, in the beginning, let's say the beginning of the 2000s, started questioning, oh, the occult is evil, oh, we're going to hell, oh, Satan, ooh, the end of the world, ooh, symbology is evil, symbols are evil, pentagrams are evil. No. The Illuminati uses a technology that is available to the entire universe. And what they do with it is not necessarily in the best interest of yourself or I. But it is a neutral technology. When we read about things like this, and I am not a Christian, I am not a Jew, I am not a Muslim, I do not subscribe to Judeo-Christian beliefs. However, I was raised as a Catholic, and yes, I have read the entire Bible, and for a matter of fact, I was going to become a priest. So I know what I'm talking about here when I say, in the beginning of that book, the Bible, where it talks about stoning witches and all this stuff, it is only put in there to get you to look away from those particular technologies. And I will say this with a bit of a pompous, arrogant attitude, and saying they're just trying to make you not look at what they're doing, because then you're going to learn the skills to do what they do and then use it for good. So all this talk that the Illuminati is evil, or Masons are evil, or witches are evil, or the occult is evil, or magic is evil, or Eastern philosophy and yoga and Tantra and Reiki and all these things are evil. They're telling you that because they don't want you to learn it, because they're the ones that are using it. And it is a neutral technology that can be used either for good or for bad. Technology is not inherently evil, and that goes for all technology, whether it be energetic and or physical, materialistic. So that's another thing that we need to be very aware of. We're being swindled and falling for this ridiculousness, and it is ridiculousness, of all things occult are evil, all things are Luciferian, all this stuff. It's ridiculous. And I have to ask you, when you watch these videos of these people telling you how evil these things are, doesn't it make your stomach cringe? How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel empowered? It doesn't for me. I mean, it might for you. I don't know. But when I watch these things and these videos from these websites and these videographers and documentarians saying how things are, you know, it's the plan, it's the end times. No. I'm sorry. I will not fall for that anymore. And I hope you won't either. I find that there is balance and there is good in this world. There is a lot of good in this world. And for us to be able to tap into things that are not seen is very important, because they've been hiding it from us for a very, very long time. I started the GIC because I had an intent to share all this information with you. Yes, I've been involved in those secret societies in the past. I'm no longer and haven't. And what I mean by that are like little witches' covens and druids and certain other magical lodges and whatnot. It's been 15, 20 years since I've been involved. However, when I said I was going to speak up about it, they were like, oh, no, you can't. But it's about healing as far as I'm concerned. It's about self-empowerment as far as I'm concerned. And no, I'm not going to stop talking about this. And no, I am going to continue teaching people how to utilize energies and vibrations and healing and things that are not necessarily seen by the eye or by the media, for that matter. So that's another aspect of what I wanted to share with you today. The other aspect I wanted to share with you today, and again, it comes back to the idea of what are sheeple. What are sheeple? Aren't sheeple people who repeat the same thing over and over again? Aren't sheeple people who repeat things without really studying them? I mean, really, let's think about this. We in the Truth Consciousness movement, many of us, now granted, some are better speakers than others, some are better writers than others, but the majority of us basically are readers, and we watch videos, and we comment on Facebook and whatnot. And as I read and see these comments and get to know some of them, hopefully a minority, it's just repetition. It's repetition from certain websites that they hang out on. It's repetition of perhaps news stations that they watch. It's repetition of books that they read, repetition of movies they've seen, without actually doing any in-depth research to see if this is actually true, and is it true for them. I want to use an example. Let's say a great example is feminism is a part of the New World Order. First of all, ha 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 ha, silly. Second of all, these websites, these conspiracy crazy right-wing websites, if feminism is a part of the New World Order, are you trying to say that women must be submissive to men in order for us to live in peace and harmony? Just an example. So we're going to see a lot of this stuff. We see a lot of things with the Illuminati, with people always repeating, oh, he's a member of the Illuminati, oh, she's a member of the Illuminati, especially when it comes to celebrities or things like that. How do you know? How do you know? Now, granted, to me, it's kind of obvious with some of it. I mean, yes, some of them go crazy with the symbol, but even the symbol isn't, necessarily good or evil. Again, another conundrum for me to have to decipher. However, to say that pink is in the Illuminati, or to say that, I don't know, Justin Bieber, well, I'm not even going to touch that one. I will say, though, just because an artist is successful, and I'm not saying that they haven't compromised some of their self to get the contract. I'm not saying that they haven't, necessarily done things to maybe not help humanity. But at the same time, and actually I want to take that back, they're expressing themselves, and they're being given the opportunity to express themselves. So to say that every successful artist is Illuminati is very ridiculous. But it's just as ridiculous to say the same thing with, Freemasons or witches or pagans. Oh, they're all evil. I know I've recently moved to Appalachia, and there's a lot of churches here. There's a lot of Freemason lodges here. And I can tell you right now that the majority of the people that I've met who go to church and are Freemasons, as an intuitive and as someone who's been involved and very aware of the actions and the personalities, I have yet to meet a 33rd degree satanic or evil Mason. I'm not saying that there aren't any here, but I've just got to say, give these little first degree, second degree Masons a break. They want to help their community. It's just like saying, let's say, that you work for Bank of America, so you're evil. Hell, you work for McDonald's, you're evil, you're a part of the problem. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater is what I'm trying to say. So let's start being a little more inclusive. Let's start being more aware of our all or nothing thinking. Let's be more aware of our repetitive thinking. And what I mean by that, the repetition thinking, let's stop repeating what the website people say or the video people say. Let's stop repeating what the news is saying. Let's stop repeating what the Facebook pages are saying. Unless it really aligns with you, you've done the work to look into it, and you don't feel like you're going to be a fool by saying it. Because I've got to tell you, after doing this for so long and seeing some of these comments, I'm like, they're embarrassing our movement. People are embarrassing our movement with some of the things that they say and do. And last but not least, creating global unity is not the New World Order. Get over it. Global unity is people to people, not government to government. Yes, if there was one world government, that would be New World Order. That's not what we are talking about, those of us who talk about global unity. Get real. Global unity is getting to know your neighbor, getting to know you, getting to know each other, and working with each other as human beings. We are one human family, whether you like it or not. We are one human family. And it is only the governments and the media and those that are living in fear and insecurity that are perpetuating this divisiveness. Do you want to perpetuate this divisiveness? Are you going to live in fear and insecurity? There is a new paradigm on the horizon. I want nothing to do with this old world order. new world order, whatever you want to call it, there is going to be a paradigm of cooperation, of knowing one another, of reaching out to one another, of a new economy, of a gift economy. We're not going to need currency. And by the way, ever so quickly, if you see those websites are getting you to buy gold and all that stuff, that's still the Rothschild economy. Think about it. And with that, I love you all very, very much. I went on much longer than I expected, as usual. I love you all so very, very much, and I hope that these words have given you food for thought, and I hope that we can all be one human family very, very soon. No more divisiveness, no more repetition of what others think without researching, no more lowering our vibration to that of the low vibrators. Let's raise our vibration. Let's start thinking for ourselves. Let's start listening to our intuition, and let us be one love. Bye-bye.